10 Most Beautiful Castles in France, Explore France Part 2. 5. Château du Haut-Königsberg. The Château du Haut-Königsberg is nestled at a strategic location on a high hill overlooking the Alsatian plain in the Vosges Mountains, France. It was used by successive powers from the Middle Ages until the 30 Years' War, when the castle was burned and pillaged by Swedish troops after a 52-day siege. After this, the chateau was left unused for a few hundred years and became overgrown by forest. In 1899 it was given to the German Emperor Wilhelm II and rebuilt as it was on the eve of the 30 Years' War. When the French confiscated the castle after WWI, it was considered fashionable to sneer at the castle because of its links to the emperor, but today it's one of the most popular castles in France, attracting more than 500,000 visitors a year. 4. Château de Loches. Built about 500 meters, 1,600 feet, from the banks of the Indre River in the Loire Valley, the Château de Loches is as famous for its mammoth square-shaped central keep as it is for its connections to French and English royalty. Constructed in the 11th century, the castle was held by Henry II and Richard the Lionheart in the 12th century and later became a favorite residence of Charles VII of France. It was in the Great Hall of the castle that Joan of Arc convinced Charles that he should be crowned at Reims. While older sections of the chateau now lie in ruins, the 16th century royal lodgings have been fully restored. 3. Château de Saumur. Standing tall on a fortified hill overlooking the city and river below, the Château de Saumur is one of the most beautiful of the castles situated along France's longest river, the Loire. With its octagonal corner towers and mullioned windows, the chateau looks as if it's been lifted out of a fairytale, making it an ideal destination for families. Originally built as a fortress in the 10th century, the chateau achieved its light and elegant look in the late 12th century when it was rebuilt by Henry II of England. Now owned by the town, the castle is home to several museums, including the family-friendly Musée de la Figurine Jouet, which features a collection of antique figurines and toys. 2. Palais de Papes. Located in Avignon in southern France, the Palace of the Popes is considered one of the most important medieval structures in Europe. Construction of a convent began on the site in 1252, and in 1309, it became the seat of the papacy when Rome rebelled against the election on Pope Clement V. The Palais remained the center of Western Christianity throughout the 14th century. Attracting around 650,000 visitors a year, the fortress is Europe's biggest Gothic building and is one of France's top 10 tourist attractions. Tour highlights include 14th-century frescoes painted by Matteo Giovannetti and secret chambers hidden in the palace's 3-meter, 10-foot, thick walls. 1. Site de Carcassonne. Perhaps more of a fortified town rather than a castle, the site de Carcassonne is one of the country's oldest and most impressive fortifications. Due to its position on the historical routes across southern France, the location has been occupied for more than 5,000 years. Sections of the citadel's walls date back to the heyday of the Roman Empire, and Visigoths occupied the structure during the 5th century. The castle's successive rulers continued to improve the fortress until the 17th century, when it began to fall into decay. A 19th century restoration project of the site turned Carcassonne into a popular tourist destination. Guided tours take visitors into the citadel's innermost chambers.